The power of one. The sun beat down on the farmer's back as he drove his tractor through the field. The engine roared and the tires churned up the dirt, sending up a cloud of dust. The farmer's hat was pulled low over his brow, and his face was sunburned and weathered. He had been working in the fields since before dawn, and he was tired, but he knew he couldn't stop. He had to get the crops planted before the weather turned. In the distance, the farmer could see a small group of people gathered around a politician. The politician was giving a speech, and the people were listening intently. The farmer couldn't hear what the politician was saying, but he could see the passion in his voice. The politician was gesturing wildly, and the people were nodding their heads in agreement. The farmer felt a pang of envy. He wished he could be out there, talking to people about the issues that mattered to them. He wished he could make a difference in the world, like the politician was doing. But he knew that he couldn't. He had to stay in the fields, tending to his crops. The farmer sighed and turned his attention back to his work. He drove the tractor forward, and the engine roared louder than ever. The sound of the tractor was deafening, but the farmer didn't mind. He knew that the sound of his tractor was a sign of progress. It was a sign that he was working hard to feed his family and the community. The farmer worked all day, and by the time the sun began to set, he was exhausted. He parked the tractor and walked back to his farmhouse. He was dirty and sweaty, but he was also satisfied. He knew that he had done his job, and that was all that mattered. The farmer went inside and took a shower. Then he sat down at the kitchen table and ate a simple meal. After dinner, he went outside and sat on the porch. He looked up at the stars and listened to the sound of the birds chirping. He was tired, but he was also content. He knew that he had made a difference in the world, even if it was a small one. The next day, the farmer went back to the fields. He drove his tractor through the rows of crops, and he smiled. He knew that he was doing something important, and he was proud of it. He knew that his work was helping to feed the world, and that was a feeling that no politician could ever give him. But then, one day, the farmer had an idea. He realized that he could use his platform as a farmer to make a difference in the world in a way that a politician could never. He could use his voice to speak out about the issues that mattered to him, and he could use his platform to connect with people from all walks of life. The farmer started by writing a blog about his experiences as a farmer. He talked about the challenges he faced, the rewards he reaped, and the importance of sustainable agriculture. He also started speaking at local events and conferences. He shared his story with people from all over, and he inspired them to get involved in their communities and make a difference. The farmer's work quickly gained traction. He was featured in newspapers and magazines, and he was invited to speak on national television. He became a household name, and his message of hope and inspiration spread across the globe. The farmer never forgot his roots. He continued to work in the fields, and he continued to use his voice to speak out about the issues that mattered to him. He knew that he could make a difference in the world, no matter what his occupation was. And he proved it. One day, the farmer got a call from the 3D printing startup. They had seen his blog and his work, and they were impressed. They wanted to partner with him to experiment with using 3D printing in agriculture. The farmer was excited. He had been hoping for an opportunity like this. He agreed to work with the startup, and they started brainstorming ideas for new products and applications. One of their first experiments involved printing a new type of seed planter. The planter was designed to plant seeds more accurately and efficiently than traditional planters. The farmer and the startup tested the planter in the field, and they found that it could plant seeds up to 20% more accurately than traditional planters. Another experiment involved printing a new type of irrigation system. The irrigation system was designed to deliver water more efficiently to crops. The farmer and the startup tested the irrigation system in the field, and they found that it could save up to 30% of water. The farmer and the startup also developed a number of custom parts for other businesses. One of their most successful products was a 3D printed drone that could be used to survey crops. The drone could fly over fields and collect data about the health of crops. This data could then be used to improve crop yields and prevent crop damage. The farmer and the startup worked together for several months, experimenting with different materials and designs, and testing their products in the field. They also worked on developing educational materials to teach other farmers about 3D printing. Eventually, the farmer and the startup developed a number of successful products. They created new tools and equipment for farmers, and they also developed custom parts for other businesses. Their work was featured in newspapers and magazines, and they were invited to speak at conferences. The farmer and the startup's partnership was a success. They helped to revolutionize agriculture, and they made a positive impact on the lives of farmers around the world. Thanks for watching.